As usual with these kinds of videos, the images that I have, including the emojis, will be representing who's speaking. In cases of extremely high emotion, the emojis will substitute for the characters.
There once was a redamned donkulous website whose link was members.aol.com/rtvdave/pippi.html. This loser Dave, well, what can be said? His mind and poor excuse of humor, or I don't know what to call it, is twisted as all heck. That site went offline eventually, thankfully, but it didn't go away entirely. It is on the Wayback Machine, and I saved it to give it the tearing apart it deserves. There are no images of Dave himself, so Krampus will have to do. Dave had a few other images of his pet hate, which will be shown as he spews trash talk. Let us commence.
The evil of Pippi!
He calls this image Pippi Devil. It is nothing of the sort, just a child who looks stressed. The banner has part of his site's insulting title and a face partially in shadow. He calls this one Evil Banner 3. The image he judges as Evil Pippi 6 is only a picture of a girl who looks a bit like me. But she is not evil. She is just upside down and my name is on the image.
No one does this to our Pippi. Nobody, Dave. You hear me?
The red-haired harbinger of the apocalypse.
The absurdity of Dave. He's probably one of those people, and I use the term loosely, who believes in the idiotic evil Furby meme and that Furbies talk and move without batteries too.
My journey.
Oh, gross. He actually used journey. This is giving me flashbacks of horrible experiences I witnessed and helped some friends through because of someone else who doesn't talk about life experiences but also calls it journeys. That person also believed Furbies could talk without batteries and a lot of other things that just make me cringe.
The child, Satan Pippi, is an elusive imp.
Let's unpack this laughable judgment. Satan loves creating trouble and making people suffer. He has never been a child. He is a fallen angel. An imp is a small demon or fiend, but I have heard that term implied to people in what was probably meant to be an endearing way. Figures of speech notwithstanding, there is only one Satan. The fallen angel cannot be an imp and neither are human. Therefore, I am neither imp or devil. I also have not been a child for quite some time. I have always abhorred cruelty and all sorts of evil. Anyone who has read the books about me and paid enough attention to my character beyond the physical traits would know that.
Her antics cause me much despair.
Oh, really? Antics are playful, silly, strange, or sometimes ridiculous behaviors. Nearly all living things that move engage in those to some degree. As for the antics, one of my good friends remembers I stopped some thieves from robbing me when I was a child. I exhausted myself in the process of making them dance all night. Then I let them know I knew what they had been up to the whole time. If Davy is going to be plunged into despair over the prevention of a crime, that fits with the twisted mindset he demonstrates with everything else he says.
But the fact that she's the Antichrist wasn't immediately apparent to me.
Chain letters often claim their nonsense is fact, too. Dave must have been standing in line for seconds when tinfoil hats were being handed out. Fact. Though the Antichrist was, is, and will be a servant to Satan, it is a separate being from the devil. Fact. I have always hated anything to do with evil, so that counts me out as being any of the following but for one of these. Davy cannot keep his story straight. Am I Satan? Am I an imp? Was I ever a child? Is Satan a child? Of those 4 questions, only number 3 gets a yes. Fact. Nothing about me was made apparent to Dave. His twisted imagination ran away with him.
At first, I thought she was just a troublesome, high-strung kid.
It never fails to amaze me how clearly some people see themselves in others.
But then, as I began to look deeper, it became clear that Pippi Longstocking is the devil.
No, she isn't, you blithering.
All right, let's calm it down. I know how frustrating it is when people choose to cling to stupid lies. Dave did not look a little deeper. He let his sad imagination run crazy. This devil stuff should not need to be corrected again.
And that the Germans and the Swedes have conspired to bring her to full cinematic power to fill the vacuum left by Hitler's death.
Wrong guy! You are one sick freak, Davy boy. If she was anything like Hitler, she would be a sadist. And then I would hate her. So you lie monstrously.
Yes, Dave here is definitely stooping about as low as anyone can in a desperate attempt to damage someone else's reputation. I can definitely think of certain other characters who fit a description of filling some cinematic power vacuum supposedly left by Hitler's suicide, a character who did commit suicide as a matter of fact, and his master. They terrorized, tortured, and mass murdered so many in their story. They're known as Sheev Sidious Palpatine and Anakin Darth Vader Skywalker. But Dave's idea of Hitler's death leaving a vacuum makes no sense. Nothing, he says, has. After a tyrant's death, there is lingering post-traumatic stress and relief, not a longing for another dictator.
And Dave, how dare you disrespect Pippi? I love Pippi to pieces. And if you think that doing this to her is going to solve anything for you, I've got news for you, buddy. It's not. It's just going to make you look really, really worse than what you already are.
My findings are disturbing.
Besides the pathetic hilarity of Dave calling his crazy fantasies findings, what he just said is uncannily close to a quote from one of the infamous characters I just mentioned. I was exposed to so many repeating re-quoted movie lines when a few of my friends were putting up and pitying a rabid Star Wars fangirl. One of the quotes said by her favorite character, Vader, quote, "I find your lack of faith disturbing," end quote. Vader's and Dave's quote have a very similar cadence to them with find and disturbing.
I do not advise that you read this lightly.
Stated with the zeal of one who thinks whatever comes out of his mouth will rock your world or shatter the earth. Same zeal as the Star Wars fangirl who also believed someone's bullcrap story about a Furby talking and moving without batteries, just like the spam that says this is not spam, the chain letter that tells you this is not a chain letter. It's really true. Nonsense.
But please heed these words. They are my revelations, my destiny, my doom.
Oh, please. His words are not his revelations. They are his ravings and rambling. I have absolutely nothing to do with his destiny. Although I had nothing to do with his page going down. I'm not upset that it was doomed.
Evil has a name.
Funny how humanity names things, isn't it? I'll cut to the chase since I'm pretty sure Dave will say evil's name is me. No, it is not. There are already so many names of people and characters in history to the present and in fictional settings who have done such horrendous things that their names are rightly associated with evil.
Within the Pippi film cycle, which includes Pippi Longstocking, Pippi in the South Seas, Pippi Goes on Board, Pippi on the Run, and the American The All-New Adventures of Pippi Longstocking, and Astrid Lindgren's Pippi Longstocking animated, there is a single reference to the full name of the Lord of Lies, which she herself revealed when beckoned to do so at the command of one of her mortal adversaries.
The media/film industry treated me much the same way they have others, getting some things right, others not so much. It is pretty sad that Dave would hold a grudge against me for storytelling back in my childhood. Lord of Lies indeed. Even the police regularly lie to arrestees to get them to confess. I'm not saying that kind of lie is right, but there are many reasons people lie. Some are justifiable, some are not. But story time should not be condemned since it is harmless entertainment unless it gets out of hand with unhinged people. No one forced me to say my full name. I've always been quite free giving out that information when growing up.
It is Pippilotta Victualia Rulgardina Crosminta Ephraim's daughter Longstocking.
Dave, you have some inaccuracies. In the first place, I don't spell my name in all uppercase. My second middle name, Rulgardina, has an INA at the end, not an ENA. You mussed up my fourth middle name as well as my surname. You forgot the I in Ephraim's daughter, which you spelled the English way. That doesn't work with your putting my first three middle names in Swedish. Daughter in that case is spelled Dotter. My last name in Swedish is Långstrump. My full name in English is Pippilotta Delicatessa Windowshade Macrelmont, Ephraim's daughter Longstocking. Different versions of my story have different language variants of my name as well.
Her lineage from the cannibal King Ephraim, son of Fabian, will become significant later, as will her mother's status as an angel in heaven.
Really, Dave? None of my family were actually cannibals. Telling tall tales of such things was a common pastime on board ship, and as a small girl, I did not understand what a cannibal was. I simply liked the way it rolled off the tongue, and back then, I ran with it. As for my dear mother, is there no limit to the low you stoop, mocking me for wishing to reach out to her somehow? I'm not the only one by far who has ever referred to a lost loved one as an angel or with the angels. On a side note, you are rude to cut me off.
But the name itself, etymologically, reveals much that can benefit the observer. Piplata!
There is only one thing special about my name besides it being unusually long. I was named by a little girl in a sick bed. Her mother wrote my story for her, and it was little Karin Lindgren who gave me my name. Now that's in the real world. In the fictional realm, my father named me, and hopefully my mother did as well before she passed. That is all. No matter how tightly the Daves of this world cling to their tinfoil hats, there are no silly conspiracy theories about me that are true.
I'm sorry, I forgot my Star Wars characters. But if I had them here right now, they would get a good thrashing.
I wish I had some Star Wars characters to beat up. The only one I had was that rotter Chewie, the freakish Furbaka, which I gave to Elf when it got sick, but she couldn't fix it, so she trashed it when getting rid of that first bunch of Star Wars characters she had. That was before the fangirl started sending people after her in that evil cyberbullying campaign. So Elf got more Star Wars characters to release her extreme disgust and revulsion at being bullied over Star Wars and regretting ever giving that fangirl the time of day. Elf and Cindy make it look like fun, tossing those characters around.
Well, if I know Elf, her Star Wars characters are going to take a beating before we get through with Dave's avalanche of unhinged drivel.
And Pippi, this is my message to you. I am so sorry for the passing of your mother. I am so sorry for your loss. And I'm sure she was a lovely woman. And I know she would have enjoyed our laughs and all of the things that made us laugh. I know she would have loved that. And I know she would have loved all of us. So Pippi, I really am sorry for your loss. And if you ever need someone to talk to, I'm here. Alyssa's here. We're all here for you, Pippi. Because we all know what it's like to lose a loved one. And Dave, how dare you? How freaking dare you? If you were here right now, I would throttle you.
Aw, thank you, Cindy. I love you to pieces, too. I'd like to think that my mom would enjoy all of our adventures and laughs, and share the tears as well. I'm sorry that she passed on during or shortly after my birth. I've been trying to give something back to her since. It is not like Elf's situation or yours with your granny, not quite. I never knew my mom but wish I had. Thank you so much for your kind, loving words of support. I will always be here for you two as long as possible.
There's a lot more to come. In the next section, Dave attacks her name.